What's up, everybody? I'm Bobby Jarrell.
I'm Marthea.
And this is
No Filter.
Alright, so on today's episode, we're going to be talking about love and all that beautiful stuff. So this weekend, if you're watching the show on today, which is February something.
11th.
Yes, February 11th. This weekend is Valentine's Day. So we figured the perfect episode to talk about love will be today. So, the topic is
love blind?
Because Eve said love is blind and it'll take over your mind.
So what you need to do? Okay.
Elevate and find.
Yeah. Is love blind? And to everybody who's getting ready to go into the Valentine's Day weekend, forget y'all.
Ooh, the lonely people.
What do the lonely do? No. I love love though.
So let me ask you this. Did you watch the show on Netflix, Love is Blind?
No, I didn't.
Do you know what it is? What it's about? Alright, so it's male heterosexual show because they don't care about homosexuals. Drew.
Stop it.
It's like all those shows like this. Like heterosexuals. Anyway, so the couple, the men are in the pod and then the women are in the pod. And I guess the way they created the warehouse or whatever they were filming at, it was two separate sides.
Okay.
So the women had like a suite area where they slept and had a common area and stuff like that.
It's like a dating show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so the men had their side, and so in between were these rooms. The rooms were probably about like the size of this room that we're in now, and they had like a couch and stuff. And so it was separate side, like the rooms were like in the middle, and the men and women enter on both sides.
Okay.
So two rooms were connected by
the
middle wall, but it was like a light type thing where it's like you can see through, but you can't see the other person.
Oh, okay.
And so what they would do is they would have so much time within the room with a certain person. And I forgot how many people it was, like say 20 people in the beginning, 20 men, 20 women. Okay. And they would have 5 minutes or so to talk to everybody.
Different people.
Yes. Everybody had to talk to every guy had to talk to every girl the first round.
Okay.
And then after that, I think, don't quote me on the rules or whatever, but after that they could decide, hey, I met with such and such, I would like to meet with her again. Okay. And if she's interested, she was like, okay, yeah, I'll meet with him again, and then they'll have time.
Do they know the names and stuff?
Yes, they know the names. Okay. And so they dwindle it down to it was like 6 or 7 couples at the end. But the goal is to meet someone, have a conversation with them, and get to know them on a level deeper than just the physical. Yes. So each couple, like, you can propose. So if you talk to somebody so you talk to them for a couple of days and you decide, you know what, I like this person, I want to propose to this person. So once you propose to them, then you get to meet them outside of the pods. And then, but you have to actually get married though.
Oh, that's the catch.
They go through, because they go on a trip together after, like, it was like, I forgot how many couples it was, but afterwards they go through and they get to meet each other, go on a trip, do things together, and then they get married. Okay. So at the altar is when they decide if they want to go through with it.
Oh, okay. That sounds interesting.
I like the concept of getting to know somebody and just talking to them. So it was, like, overall, I thought it was an interesting show. There was one couple named Cameron and Lauren that they were successful on the show. It was a white man, black woman, and both of them were like, well, she was like, I've never dated outside of my race or whatever. She was like, but there's something about you. And when this show was popular at the time, everybody loved Cameron. Like, he was just like perfection. And they still together now. Like, they're doing really well. But now, after I've given Netflix a whole plug on No Filter, the concept is great, and I think that it takes it takes getting to know somebody and not worrying about the physical. But I also believe that in order to really enjoy a person and want to be with a person, like there has to be that physical connection. So when I think of Love Is Blind, I don't think of it necessarily in just the physical. It can involve physical, but I think it's more so of, you know, I'm going to look past the things that you've been through, and I'm not going to let your past define how I feel about you right now. Because a lot of times people think of it just like the physical blind part of it. Yeah. So how do you feel? Do you believe love is blind?
I do believe love is blind. And I think I have like a different definition,
what's your definition
to love is blind. I feel like when someone says love is blind, they just miss all of like the red flags, like how this person is treating them and things like that, because they feel like
I'm sorry, you keep on.
No, because they feel like, oh no, this is love. Like, I'm in love with this person, and, you know, I think people, when they get that feeling of love, because, like, I love love. Like, love is so beautiful to me. So when they feel like they have an inkling of love, like they just go overboard with all of the planning and just missing so many things from what that person is actually bringing to you. So that, in my mind, that's why I'm like, love is blind, because you have to really, like, it's really both ways when it comes to someone loving you, and like, you can't give all your love away. You have to be careful because it can be lust.
So, okay, let me ask you this. Do you think that love is blind, you said, in the sense of people not seeing the red flags and everything, is it that they don't see the red flags, or is it that they're so in love they think they can change the person, and it's like, oh yeah, I see the red flags, but if I love you hard enough, it'll change and you'll do better, and
that's something that we all deal with. We deal with overlooking things because you feel like you can change that person. Like, my love is so good and we're gonna be so good, so great. I can change him, or I can change her, and you know, she'll jump aboard. 9 times out of 10, they won't change unless you're that person that they are like, okay, I'm done with what I'm doing and things like that, and I'm committed to you and how she's feeling. If it bothers her, I want to change something because I don't want her to feel like that, or I don't want him to feel like that, then
But you know, I think a lot of people get confused when it comes to, and I feel like that'll be a whole nother relationship topic, but when it comes to changing and doing better for another person, that's when we look at like compromising and stuff like that. And people think that, are you compromising or are you settling? And it's like a thin line for some people. They're like, well, I'm not going to change who I am. This is me. This is how I am. But I'm like, if what you're doing has not been successful for you in the past, in relationships, in friendships, in partnerships, whatever, there has to be a time where a person has to sit back and say, okay, it's not about them trying to change me. It's not about me settling. It's about me being a better person for myself, that I can be there for the person that I claim to love and claim to want to be with.
Yeah, I agree. And that, my whole thing is like, I'm not really about like changing you, because I accept people for where they're at and who they are and things like that. But if we do have a conversation and I'm telling you some things that I'm feeling and things like that, and you, like I said, you sit there and you be like, I don't want to hurt her. I know she loves me, and you know, she's a good woman. That's my whole thing. Like, you see I'm a good person, or you see, you know, a person that you're dealing with, they're good. Don't hurt them. You know.
So, what would you say are things for you that either makes you fall in love or that keeps you in love with the person? Like, is there something that if they not saying like cheating and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like that's just like okay, I can't. And some people stay through cheating, and because like you can't. I think. Let me one thing at a time. What is it that you need to feel loved, to feel like okay, I can look past this that you may need to change, but
Effort.
okay.
I love someone who shows effort and shows that they are like in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're being consistent with me.
Yeah.
You're accepting me for where I'm at right now. If you accept me and all my weirdness and goofiness and just my issues, you know, like that means something to me. That means that you care and you like my vibe. Like I love when someone just wants to spend time with me.
Okay.
And it just like that, I'll click and be like, damn, like I kind of like this person. Like I kind of love. It takes a while, but like when it does, I'm like, I love this person.
What's the other half of my question?
You stopped it.
I know, I should have wrote it down. Y'all remember?
Y'all, cheers.
This orange juice.
Yes, I love orange juice. It's so good.
So has there ever been a time in your... I don't know why the song just popped in my head. This orange juice kicking in. This is there's never been a time in my life when he's let me fall. There's never been a time in my life when he didn't answer my call.
You talking about Jesus?
It's a gospel song. It's from a movie. There's never been a time in my life. I'll think of it anyway. But so, has there ever been a time in your life where you can say that you felt like love is blind? For me personally, I remember I met this guy, and he was the first person that I felt like a overall wanting for, in a sense. Like his personality, like I was attracted to him.
Yeah.
He made me feel attractive. He made me feel like he wanted me.
Don't that feel so good?
Yes. But love is blind. Because I felt like he was everything that I wanted, and I overlooked everything else. I overlooked the inconsistencies. I overlooked in a sense, I would say like mistreatment, not like physical or nothing like that, but just like how not responding, and then like all of a sudden calling when they want to call and want to be bothered when they want to be bothered. And so it's like for me at that time, I was like, oh, this is everything I want. So let me make myself easily accessible. And at the time, it's like I knew I should do better. Yeah. But I guess like I wanted to be loved.
Was it love, or do you think it was lust?
It was like it was a crazy kind of love, because I knew what he was going through and things that he had been through. And so I wanted to be that person for him to help him through what he was going through. And so it's like the love was like a thing of not just a physical connection of love, but it's a love in a sense of I love you so much that I want to be there to help you through what you're going through. Yeah. And be that person that you can say, oh, I haven't had anybody that's been there for me. I haven't had anybody to support me. It's like I want to be that person for you.
And when you love someone, I mean, that's whatever they're going through, you take on that.
Yes.
You take, and you want to be that person for them to just make it right. That's because you love them so much. And I think, do you think that does that hurt you in the end? Does that hurt yourself?
Yes. At that time, during that time, yes. And it's like before him, relationships were not something that I saw for myself, like being in the homosexual lifestyle. And it wasn't until I met him where I was like, because we talked about being promiscuous and just sleeping with people just to sleep with people.
Yeah.
He's the first person that I was with that I was like, I'm attracted to this person.
And it was only him?
What you mean?
It was only like you were just messing around and being with him?
We wasn't together like that.
Oh, okay,
But he was that person that like that made me feel like, okay, I can be attracted to someone that's everything that I want. Personality, physical, like just like he was that first person for me. And it felt amazing to be like, okay, I believe this for myself. Like I wouldn't be in, and it's crazy like when people be like, I know you're not a big Fantasia fan, but Fantasia has a song on her Definition of album called When I Met You. It's like, when I met you, I never knew. But it's like, she's basically saying, I'm thanking my ex because without my ex, I wouldn't be able to love you. And that's like, I dedicate that song to him.
Wow.
Like, he wasn't like my ex per se, but like we had a connection, Yes.
He taught you love.
And it's like without him, like I would not have ever, eventually maybe, but he was the person that opened my heart and my mind to a relationship.
That's beautiful.
And it was like after me and him stopped dealing with each other, like it was like we were communicating stuff, but it was like a year and a half later is when I met Emmanuel.
Okay.
And it's like I wouldn't have been in a place to be with Emmanuel had he not been there first.
He got you ready.
Yes.
He got you ready for it.
So yeah, but like with him, I think there was one time he texted me because like this, me and him met in 2011, and he texted me one day, this was a couple of years ago, and he was like, "Hey, I'm going through some old messages between us," and he was like, "I just want you to know that I'm sorry." He was like, "I should have been a better person to you." And I was like, for me, like I accepted it because I knew what you were going through. Like it's like we talked about a lot of things, and like he didn't share every single thing. But me being a Cancer and the empath that I am, I knew that you were going through something. So it's like, but for him to be like, okay, I'm sorry, I apologize. It's like, okay, that's that closure that people normally don't get that they need, and I needed that.
Yeah.
So it's like, but yeah. But enough with this Iyanla counseling session.
I love it.
So love is blind.
I love
is blind.
I love it. And so you're in love now.
Yeah, yes, I definitely love
It's not blind. He's all the way in love.
But you know the thing, this guy, his name is Ian Haddock. I've filmed, like, he was in my web series, and like we used to do some discussion videos, straight talk together. And I remember we did a relationship episode, and he said, "Love is fleeting," and I was like, "Nigga, that's stupid." like that don't even make any sense. Like that, like what are you talking about? Love is fleeting. Like that makes no sense. But at the time, I think this was either before me and Emmanuel got together or right in the beginning of our relationship, because it was like we probably were together for like a couple months if it was around that time. Okay. But when he said it, I was like, that makes no sense. But now I understand what he was saying. Yeah. Because love is this thing that we think that yes, you love a person. I feel like my concept was, if I love you, I love you. It's not going to change. Yeah. That's true to a certain extent.
It's different levels.
Yes. And there's days where you like, like everything about you I just love. And then there's days where it's like, I need a moment. Like, I don't like nothing about you right now. Yeah,
but that, love is always changing. And you're always finding out different things about somebody and things like that. So I want to take like the good and the bad to love. Like if it's truly love.
Do you though?
If it's truly,
because like people say that, but you have to be mentally prepared for what that means. Because when you say the ugly, if you meet somebody, it may take a while for you to see the ugly. But if you tell them, oh, I want to see the ugly, and you're not ready for that ugly.
Yeah. I mean, in my, not this last relationship, but the relationship before that, it was some ugly, stanky stuff, you know, and I still stood through that because in my heart, my love was so strong for this person. And so, like, I feel like I'm ready. I mean, I've seen my grandparents are still married, and it ain't a roller coaster with them, but I still see, I think, with the situations with my mom and everything, I always told my mom, I'm like, you went through a lot of stuff, but I do know that love made you stay.
Okay.
And so I want love to be so strong that it makes me want to work to overcome everything. What?
Everything. Like, that's that love is blind. So like you it's not like you've mentally put in your mind that love is blind that I'm ignore.
No, because it don't. No, let me tell you, it don't take me. It does not for me to love you. It's gonna take me a while, and that's going back seeing this person in season and out of season. I don't carry the word love around loosely at all.
So let me ask you. Are you the type when you say, is it like for better or for worse? Like if you were to get married, that you're going to stick it out through the end, no matter what, like make it work?
I mean, we are millennials. And I don't think I would take as much as like what people in the back in the day would have. But, you know, I would try to like go through the resources that we can and if that doesn't work, then hell, sometimes it is better to be apart and separate. If you're losing yourself, don't ever lose yourself in love.
Yes.
Don't ever do that.
And see, I think that's the thing, like it's being in love and wanting to work it out is fine and dandy. But it has to be, like, I think we talked about it before, like actions. And you can say all day that you want to make it work. You can say all day that you want it to last and everything like that. But let's say it's a cheating situation. A person cheats, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again. Like, I love you, I want to make this work. Then they cheat again. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. But it's like, at what point do you decide, you know what, you're not going to change?
Yeah. What point do you decide to separate?
Yeah. And this, even switching on the other side of it, the person that's cheating is like, if you know that there's something else that you want or something that you're missing, you're going out and cheating, why not let that person go and say, okay, you know what, I love you enough to let you go. And it's hard. I'm not going to say it's the easiest thing in the world to let somebody go, but finding... There has to be a place that you have to be able to get to the point where it's like, what do I do?
What do you do?
How do I maneuver forward? And it's like if you, like, let's say somebody that's a cheater, and I'm about to say speaking as a cheater, I'm not a cheater. It's like somebody that's cheating and say, if there's something that you're missing that you feel that you need to go out and search for.
What are you saying? Is it something that you're missing within yourself or within that marriage?
Within the marriage.
Okay.
Within the marriage, because I think...
But it is something that's missing within yourself, too, for you to continue to go out and...
But the answer may come from what's missing in the marriage.
Okay.
So let's say it's sex that's missing in the marriage that makes you feel like, oh, I'm missing, like, I need to go out and do this. I need to go, like, what is it about sex that you feel so in the need of? Yeah. So it's like that we try to separate things and put it into this box to where it's so clear, but it's not that easy to say, you cheated, you did this, oh, I'm gonna leave, and you cheated because of X, Y, and Z. It's like, but there's so much more to the reasoning why we do some of the things that we do. And like, just tying it back to Love is Blind, that we feel like we do a lot of things out of love. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times it's out of like that selfishness.
Yeah. And you hold different things and don't say different things out of love.
Yeah.
But I think if you really do love someone, you try and be as transparent. Like that's when your transparency comes.
But see, that's hard. That's hard.
Hell, I don't know. I ain't in no damn relationship. I don't know.
See, that's hard because that's when it goes back into the good, the bad, and the ugly. Mm-hmm. And when you ask for a person's ugly, you have to be ready for that. And let's say, for me, my ugly is like my depression. It's like it's when it's bad, it's like I don't want to do anything, I shut down. Yeah. It's like it's bad. Mm-hmm. And so I try my best not to show people that before being in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And people took that as me pushing them away and not letting them get to know me. And I think I talked about it before on one of the episodes. One of the episodes where I said about the guy asked me, could he make me happy? Mm-hmm. It's like, I thought you said like change my depression. Mm-hmm. It's like, but it wasn't that at all. And so I had to learn that if I show somebody who I am, I have to be ready for what they're going to give me back. And I lost so many people in my life, relationships, friendships, all of that, because of showing people my ugly. Mm-hmm. So if I meet somebody and they're like, "Oh, show me everything," I'm kind of hesitant because of when I showed people before.
Yeah. And that's my whole thing.
Say that thought in your head, okay? Mm-hmm. You got it? Mm-hmm. You remembered it? Mm-hmm. You sure? Mm-hmm. You gonna forget it? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.